to the English from A to Z. Today we are going to get into something really big, a really big goal for so many people. We're doing a deep dive into how to train your brain to actually speak in English
hmm
without that constant translation happening in your head.
It's the ultimate goal,
Yeah.
really, and it's all about this core problem, this mental translation block. What happens for most learners is what I call the L1 detour.
The L1 detour. Okay.
Yeah, you think of an idea in your first language, your L1, then your brain just stops. It translates the idea, and only then do you try to speak it in English, your L2.
And that just sounds slow.
Yeah.
Hard work.
It's incredibly slow. It's exhausting, and that's what stops people from feeling fluent.
Yeah.
So our goal here, our mission, is to show you how to build a direct path.
A direct path from what to what?
From the thought or the object, straight to English. No detour. We want to bypass L1 completely.
So we get that speed, that natural flow.
Exactly. Fast and natural. And the best part is, the training for this is actually, it's easy. It's even fun. It's like exercise for your brain.
Okay, I like the sound of that. So we've got three main tips to guide us through this deep dive. Small sentences, input, and output.
Right. Those are the three pillars for building what we call your English life.
All right, let's start with tip number one then. Starting small. The advice here is to think in small, complete sentences, not just single words.
Yeah.
Why is that distinction so important?
It's a huge distinction. If you just think the word pen, your brain is just labeling an object. It's
Wow.
passive.
Yeah.
But if you think this is my pen, or even my pen is blue, you're actually using the language. You're doing grammar, verbs, possession, all in a tiny, manageable package.
You're connecting the language directly to your world.
Yes, and that's the actionable part. You can do this all day long. You become the narrator of your own life, turning everything you do into these little internal English sentences.
So like in the morning, instead of just waking up, you'd think,
I am awake. Or I am hungry and I want coffee. Then I go to the kitchen. It seems simple, but it's incredibly powerful.
and I love the examples for when you're just out in the world, like on a bus or something. You can just look around and think, I see a window. I see a red car. A man is walking.
It is a sunny day. What this does is it connects English directly to your life. It bypasses your native language completely because you don't need it. The red car is right there. The connection is direct.
The L1 is just cut out of the equation.
It becomes irrelevant in that moment.
Okay, let's make this practical for everyone listening. Right now, wherever you are, just look around.
Yep, do it right now.
And think of two or three of these small, descriptive sentences. You can think them in your head, or even better, whisper them. We'll give you a moment.
Maybe you thought, the chair is soft, or I am listening to a podcast. That little act right there, that's the first step. That's building the foundation.
All right, so we've got this internal monologue going. But the brain needs something to work with, right? It needs fuel. Which brings us to tip number two, input.
Input, yes.
So what exactly do we mean by input?
Well, put simply, it's just all the English that goes in, through your ears, through your eyes, but it's the why that's important.
Okay, so why does it work?
It works because when you listen to easy English, your brain starts to hear and recognize the patterns, the rhythm, the structure. I like to call it the music of English.
The music of English. I like that.
It's how you learn what sounds right without ever opening a grammar book. You're just giving your brain English food.
So what's the best kind of English food? The sources mention things that are simple and repetitive.
Yeah, exactly. Simple pop songs are fantastic for this. They repeat the chorus over and over,
Right.
A line like, I love you like a love song, baby. You hear that 10, 20 times in 3 minutes. That structure gets burned into your brain.
And the key is finding music you actually like so it doesn't feel like work.
That's the secret. The content has to be attractive to you. If you like it, if it's interesting, your brain is happy. And a happy brain learns so much more.
It's not resisting the information.
No, it's absorbing it. This is huge for watching videos, too. You know, a full movie can be too fast. You just feel lost.
Hmm.
But simple, short videos about something you already love. Perfect.
So give us an example, like cooking.
Cooking is a great one. You watch a simple cooking video. The person says, I see the tomato, and you see it. I cut the tomato, and you see them cut it.
The word is connected directly to the action.
No translation needed. Or sports. You watch football highlights. The announcer shouts, he kicks the ball.
It is a goal.
And you get it instantly because you see it happening. Your brain makes that connection in a split second.
So the takeaway is find English content about your hobbies, things you already find attractive.
Yes. That way, your brain is happy, and learning becomes a side effect of having fun.
Okay, so we're thinking in sentences, we're feeding our brain with input. Now, for the really hard part for a lot of people. Tip number 3, output.
The speaking part.
Yeah, the speaking. And we hear this all the time. But I am alone. I have no one to talk to.
And that's a valid concern, but the great news is you can start alone. Speaking to yourself it's a fantastic training method.
I think a lot of people might feel a bit silly doing that, though. Why is it so important to actually say the words out loud, even if no one is listening?
It comes down to something called the auditory feedback loop. It's crucial.
Oh, what?
Auditory feedback loop. When you speak, your brain produces the word, right, but then your ears hear your own voice saying it.
Ah, I see.
That loop, hearing yourself, solidifies the connection in your brain. It makes the word real. Thinking it is one thing. Hearing it makes it so much stronger and easier to remember next time.
So my own ears are helping to train my brain. That's fascinating. So where should people do this?
Anywhere you feel comfortable and private. In your room, in the car, on your commute, in the shower. The privacy is important because it takes away the fear of making a mistake.
Right. There's no judgment. So what do you talk about?
You can start by just describing your environment. Look around your room right now and just say what you see. Out loud.
Like, I see a bed. The bed is big. Or the table's brown.
My computer is black. It forces your brain to find those words on the spot. No time for the L1 detour. You see the bed, you say bed. It's a direct connection.
And another great practice from the material was about reviewing your day.
Yes, this is a great one to do before you go to sleep. Just talk about your day out loud. Today I was happy. I ate pasta for lunch. I talked to my friend.
That moves beyond just describing objects into telling a story.
Exactly. You start practicing tenses, connecting ideas. You're building your ability to create a narrative, all in English.
Okay, let's do one last practice challenge for everyone listening. I want you to say 2 or 3 sentences out loud right now describing what you're doing at this very moment.
Don't just think it. Say it.
Let your ears hear your own voice. We'll give you a second.
Maybe you said, I am sitting, or I am listening, or I am happy. That act of producing the sound, that's the training.
This is all such a great framework, the thinking, the input, the output. But it brings up a big question about mindset. How fast does this actually work? Is my brain going to change overnight?
That's a crucial question. And the answer is no. Learning a language is slow, and that is completely okay.
We need to manage our expectations.
We really do. You have to be patient with your brain. Be kind to yourself. You're literally building new pathways, new connections. It takes time. Don't expect to be fluent tomorrow.
So if it's slow, how do you stay motivated? How do you keep going?
Consistency over intensity, every time. It is so much better to practice for just 10 or 15 minutes every single day than it is to do one huge 2-hour session on a Sunday.
Because that daily practice keeps the pathways active.
It keeps them firing. A little bit every day is what builds the habit and strengthens the connections.
Okay, let's talk about the biggest fear, mistakes. Everyone is so afraid of saying something wrong. You know, like, I is happy instead of I am happy.
And we have to change how we think about mistakes. A mistake isn't a failure, it's data.
Data.
Yeah, it's a signal to your brain that says, oops, that connection isn't quite right. When you say I is happy and it sounds wrong to you, That's a learning moment. You've just identified exactly where you need to improve.
So mistakes mean you're trying, you're stretching your abilities.
Precisely. Don't be afraid to be wrong. The person who speaks a lot and makes a lot of mistakes will become fluent so much faster than the person who knows all the grammar rules but is too afraid to speak.
And this all comes back to that last point about maintenance, which is make it fun.
It has to be fun. If you're bored, you'll stop. If you're forcing yourself to watch videos you hate, you're not going to be consistent. Find the joy in it. Find that attractive content, because a happy brain is a learning brain.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. We've talked about how to train your brain to get past that mental translation.
Yeah.
We've got our 3 pillars.
First, think in small sentences. All day long, narrate your life.
Second, input. Feed your brain with simple, attractive English you enjoy, like songs and videos. Let it absorb the music of the language.
And third, output. Speak to yourself. Describe your world out loud to use that auditory feedback loop and make those brain connections strong.
We've given you the tools, the techniques to make your English feel direct and natural. But now we want to turn it back to you, the listener.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about music, self-talk, describing your day. What's one thing that stands out to you? What's one thing you can start doing today?
What's one small commitment you can make? Just 10 minutes, starting right now, to train your English brain.
Pick that one thing and just start.
That's a perfect place to leave it. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.